Grace and peace. If you're watching the replay and you want to fast forward a little bit, it's a pop-up. I haven't done a pop-up maybe at all this week or last week. The Lord bless you all. Come in, come on. I'm smacking on some cashews in the meantime. I waited all day to eat today. Bless you. Got a little headache. The Lord bless you, Alicia, Erica. The Lord bless you. Y'all come on. Y'all tag Tim Clinton. Because Tim said he wanted to do a pop-up tonight. And on this conversation, grace and peace to you. The Lord bless y'all. I pray everybody has had my stand is a little flimsy tonight. I pray everyone has had a great day and that your week is off to a great start. Can y'all believe we are in July? We are in this 6th month. The year is half gone. Grace and peace. Hey, good to see you. The year is half gone. I put a post on Facebook today, and let me read it to you all, because this is what we're going to be talking about. Steph, this is what we are going to be talking about tonight. My post said, "Dear singles, busy is not an excuse to not keep your word. The busier you are, the more responsibility you have to manage your schedule so that you can keep your word." And then I got onto TikTok. And there was a video, I'm going to play it for you all tonight. TikTok is what helps me to stay in touch with current language. Y'all be bugging, you tweaking, playing on my top. TikTok helps me with that, and with some of the perspectives that seem to be dominating the culture. Let's see. Where's this video at? Okay, here we go.
Could he possibly like me, ma'am, for the girlfriend, and could I possibly?
I want to play this for y'all. Where is it at, though?
Stop internalizing the rhetoric that optimism. You're confusing. Stop information.
Why is it not?
I'm not telling a lot of. How many times?
Yes.
I think.
Hold on, I'm finding this video for y'all.
But I say the miscon.
But the reason a lot
Steph,
of how much
they be
patience
playing on my top.
Sometimes, man, I think.
Well, I'm the side chick, remember? So.
Trash Sinead,
You in a relationship?
tweaking,
Example.
bugging.
My man went.
Ma'am, I'm gonna be real.
Okay, I can't find the video, but it was a young lady who came up to the microphone and she said that it was at a tonight's conversation thing. She said that is marriage possible for a young boss? She said because the men that she dates, because she's so busy, that their egos don't understand why and how she's so busy. And so I want to talk tonight about the importance of, okay, let me stop eating these cashews tonight in front of y'all's face, right? On TikTok, they say, here, let me give you the first bite. I want to talk a little bit tonight about money. Y'all get ready for the conversation. I want to talk tonight about the importance of keeping your word when it comes to dating and in your relationships. I want to, if you don't have my book, Dear Singles, I want you to get it. Day 22 says, if they're too busy, they're not ready. The sign that a person is genuinely ready to pursue an intentional relationship with you is not that they want to. Number one. Number two, it's not that they want you or that they desire you. A person who is consistently unable to prioritize time with you is showing you that they are not ready for you. It does not mean they don't want you. It simply means they're not ready for you. True readiness for a relationship goes beyond desire. It encompasses a willingness to invest time and energy into building meaningful connection. And when someone is genuinely prepared to share their life with another, they prioritize moments together, creating a pattern that communicates commitment and intention. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3:1, we're reminded that there's a time for everything. A relationship cultivated in its due season flourishes. If busyness becomes a constant refrain, it may signify a need for personal growth, self-discovery, or a reassessment of priorities. If while dating, you have to beg for time, that level of demoralization will continue and worsen in marriage. Sure, busy people do not have as much free time as other people, but busy people who are genuinely interested in a future with you will free up as much time as you need to build a healthy relationship. So the first thing that I want you all to get tonight, we're talking about when you're dating someone, you're in a relationship with someone. One of the signs of readiness for a serious relationship that will lead towards a healthy marriage, because though marriage is the goal, that even needs to be qualified. Healthy marriage must be the goal. And I wish Tim was on here. Everybody at Tim D. Clinton for me on here, because Tim was on Facebook doing this, talking in my comments, saying, you know, that's why busy people need to only date other busy people so that they can understand the busyness. And busyness is not a problem, right? The problem is it creates an unsafe relational dynamic when your busyness is an excuse not to honor your word. Thank you, London. Y'all tag him. Come on, not just London. Come on, y'all tag him. At Tim D. Clinton. Tag him. Thank you. Black Lives Matters, Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you. Y'all tag him. Tell him to come on in here. He said he wanted to do a pop-up tonight. So tell him to come on in the room. So again, busy is not the issue. The issue is when busy becomes the excuse to not honor your word. One of the things that is necessary for a long-term and long-standing healthy relationship to be formed, to be maintained, is that an account has to be built in the relationship, and the account that must be built and the deposits that must be made are deposits of integrity and priority. That the more a partner feels prioritized and the more a partner experiences that their partner honors their word, that's the safer that partner, both consciously and unconsciously, begins to feel within that relational dynamic. That one of the things that is a predictor of the health and longevity of a relationship is how safe. All right, Snoopy, in just a second, if you want to come on the camera, I'll let you come up, or you can put your question. I think there's a way to put your question there in the queue too. How safe am I with a person when it comes to them keeping their word? Okay, Tim said he's coming, saints. Tim is on the way. How safe am I, right? Because where your emotions are involved, one of the things that a person assesses when assessing safety in a partner is how dependable are you? And one of the indicators of dependability is consistency in honoring your word. Right? Consistency in honoring your word. And again, I'm not talking about just with some random person or somebody you like, somebody you're interested in, somebody you're curious, any of that. I'm saying once you enter into a space of dating with someone and you're trying to assess the viability, let's see. I'm going to bring Snoopy. It won't let, I can't see you, Snoop. So if you will raise your hand, I'll bring you on up. All right, thanks, brother Tim D. Clinton. I do it for the him, or do it for him, is here. Snoopy, if you'll raise your hand, I can bring you up. All right, Tim, I just shot you a invite. Tim,
This is some foolishness.
Tim, it's impossible for a healthy relationship to form with a person who doesn't keep their word. And I don't care how busy you are. I don't care what they've got going on. A person who does not keep their word.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me get my lighting.
A person who, there we go. A person who does not keep their word,
Right,
is unsafe.
I agree.
For a relationship.
I agree.
Even if, now again, we're talking about here and there, even if what makes them break their word consistently is that they are busy.
Yeah, but you know what, Bishop? You got to start bringing a little context to these discussions, because you really gaslight a lot of women that ain't got nothing going on. And when I say don't have, listen, when I say don't have nothing going on, I ain't saying nothing with their life. That too, but another conversation. But if you just sitting at the house on your phone, swiping up and down, ain't got no business, nothing going on throughout, and you expect a man that's busy working. Hey, this could be vice versa. It could be the woman that's busy and the man at the home doing nothing, playing video games, ain't got nothing going on in his life. I can expect that person that's doing nothing to expect a portion of my time. Like, how much? I will give you what you deserve, and that's almost nothing.
So wait, Tim, I want to make sure I'm understanding. You're saying a woman that you're talking to does not deserve any of your time?
I didn't say that.
That's what you just said, Tim. That's what you said, I will give you what you deserve, which is almost nothing. That's what you just said, Tim.
You know what? I think I gotta put a different type of category. If this talking, because I know you don't really deal with multiple situations. No, you just
that's practice cheating.
Practice cheating.
That's practice cheating.
Listen, we gotta stop this.
That's practice.
You telling me you don't? Oh man, I'm good now.
No.
Hi, Monty.
Why did your voice just drop 3 octaves, Tim? Stay focused on what you.
What what I'm saying is, I can't give I'm giving you my all, and I'm taking a chance on this. But you know what? Hey, Bishop, we got to actually do another show because I kind of changed it a little bit. Deliverance has really hit my
Amen.
house.
And tell us about
And
it.
I am ready to really commit a little quicker than before.
Is that right, Tim?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Can we talk about this for the beginning stage? Because what you're saying makes sense to get to the actual relationship. So at the point, Tim, that you began talking to somebody, is there a reasonable expectation of an investment of time?
But Bishop, see, that's a tough question because we really got to define time. Because now time is looked at in text message. Time is
Nah,
looked.
it is impossible to build
Come
a
on,
relationship
come on.
primarily through text messaging. Texting is a supplement, not a replacement.
So okay, let's define time. Is it FaceTime? Is it on the phone?
Well, it depends. If you're long distance, then yes, FaceTime. It's on the
Now,
phone.
this
Um,
question: when I get on the phone, because I don't want, you know what? I just say
Everybody, tell Tim to be free in the chat. Tell him he's free here. It's a safe space, Tim. It's
because
safe.
it's like when I get on the phone, Bishop. What are we gonna talk about? I'm cool with it. Let's get on. I'm on. Hey, you got me. We on FaceTime. Now, if the conversation is not going nowhere, can I say I'm gonna call you back?
Oh God.
Well, here's the question that has to be asked. If this is a person that you are interested in considering to date, you're trying to see if there's viability there, and if you date for marriage, you spent your whole life not knowing them, which means you got a lot of learning to do about this person to even be able to assess if they're even a viable consideration for relationship with you. So how is it that you're on the phone with somebody that you're saying you're interested in, but you ain't got nothing to say or talk about?
Bishop, I can't just sit on the phone and just go back and forth. What you doing? Nothing. What you up to, man? I ain't doing nothing. Cool.
So Tim, how much time do you think is reasonable when you're getting to know
Sitting on
somebody?
the phone,
Whatever, on the phone,
30,
FaceTime, whatever.
30 minutes.
And see, here's the thing about Tim.
30 minutes.
I'm a call you right back is the biggest lie ever told. All right,
God.
that's just the way Tim gets off the phone. Tim,
Wait,
when he want to get off the phone, call you right back.
Body.
you
Be honest.
have to ask him the right questions, right? You're not asking him the right
Come on.
questions. You gotta watch his face.
Come on.
What's the right question, Monty?
Come on,
Does
Monty.
Tim do the 30 minutes in the conversation? Is the first question.
You said, does he what? 30 minutes?
Does he make it to the 30-minute mark in conversations?
But Tim, see now here's what all these that are single that are on. When you are assessing yourself about how serious you are
Largest lie is crazy.
about largest lie about dating for marriage.
Yes.
When you are assessing that, one of the first things that you have to assess is how much time are you willing to invest? Because the reason you invest the amount of time that you invest, Tim, in your business, in your music, in your career, is because you're serious about advancing it. It is impossible to be serious about advancing something and not also be seriously investing into it.
That is true. And I think that the difference between, I think I know what I'm getting myself into when I invest in my music versus me investing
Nah, Tim, you got your what is it? The concert. When is that?
August.
August. You got a major production coming up. That is a leap of faith for you. You don't know how many people are showing up.
Major.
You've invested dollars. You don't know if you recuperate all that money. You are out there on faith, trusting that the investment is going to yield a profitable return, right? There's no guarantee in that.
That's good.
Well, you know what, Bishop? So I guess this is my counseling session. How do I weather the storm of somebody getting on my nerves in the middle? Because in the beginning, it'd be wonderful, and then somehow they just get on my nerves out of nowhere, and then it's like I'm done.
What? See, Tim, here's one of the dangers, and this is serious, right? The dangers of being single and productive for long periods of time is you begin to create a world, all of us do it, that centers solely on you, your idiosyncrasies, your preferences, your desires, your stuff. One of the ways that you self assess, am I really ready to start bringing someone else into my world, is how much can I manage those irritations? And what is so irritating? Is this person really being irritating, or am I simply irritated because I ain't used to having somebody so frequently taking up my space, my energy, and my time?
Yeah. You know what I realized, Bishop? I just honestly realized that even though, I kind of despise the prayer warriors and the intercessors, I can't stand them. And I can't stand them what they do. It's just, for some odd reason, that's who is attracted to me. But yeah, Monty, I need you to be spiritual. I'm trying to be spiritual. See, and then I realized, Bishop, of how many people that are interested in that don't know the Bible. Because Amani know. Me and Amani used to talk all the time. Amani used to talk about sports, music, the Bible. Am I lying? Come on, Amani, don't leave me out there to dry.
No, we were able to talk about everything, but your tolerance level is very low.
It is. I agree.
Now, here's one of the things, and this ain't for Tim alone. This is for all of you singles. One of the signs that you may not yet be ready for a serious relationship is your window of tolerance is very small. You don't have no patience and no tolerance for somebody else's personality, energy, needs, desires, quirks. You have no patience for it. You expect somebody to come into your world and just blend in.
Yeah. Because I don't.
Get you a praise dancer if she minds. Y'all are funny.
Because
I
yeah,
can
hey,
tell.
this lady right here, her name is Yep. That's I guess. Oh, Yep is Cheryl. Worst Instagram name ever. But she's right. I really don't. And women that just that I got to revelate. God gave me a revelation, and then it's like, oh, okay, what book you get that out the Bible? Not ain't in the Word. Oh man, I can't, Bishop. I can't. I don't know if it's the devil, the enemy. I don't know what is it.
So Tim, let me ask you a question, Tim. If a person, I don't want to say you, if a person
Okay.
does not have tolerance, they can only give you about 30 minutes of a conversation.
Yeah.
Is that person seriously ready for relationship?
You know what? I can Bishop, here's the thing. I didn't say 30 for the day.
30 for the week. Possibly month with Tim.
I hope this ain't, oh man. If Cheryl just text say yes, that's me. Oh man. Oh, oh. I apologize. Hey, Cheryl, I apologize. I didn't know if you was trolling me, but you know my eyes is bad, so I see a couple folk. But no, Bishop, what I'm saying is I may do 30 in the morning, 30 in the afternoon, you know, 30
But
here.
but the question is, how much can you get to know about somebody in 30 minutes?
Well, we gotta build it. 30 to 45, 40 to an hour. It's gotta go in.
It looks painful just with you saying it.
Right. You're going through right now, even thinking
It's
about it.
gotta go.
Because here's the deal, Tim. There's a lot of single people, especially folks who have been single for a little minute, right? And have sat down in their singleness. They have created a world around it, who like the idea of a relationship, but the reality is their tolerance level and patience level is incompatible with a healthy relationship. Somebody, a man or woman, would have to come into their life and have no desires, no needs, no personality, no nothing in order for that person to work in relationship with them. Tiki said, I guess you guys want the dirty, dusty, sexy reds. The blood. Oh, Lord, we're going to get Tim on the
Yes,
altercation.
crazy.
You put a little oil on sexy red, I'm good.
Oh, God bless
No,
it.
Y'all
very much. But you know what though? It's a side of her. Nah, I ain't going her. But you know, it's people in the industry that I wouldn't mind. You know,
Let's
because
see.
here's the thing, Bishop. There's no balance when you're dealing with these Christian women, and you know it. Stop
I'm
it.
not gonna let you do that.
That's not true though.
Hey, Xavier Bozo, send a request to come up. We're gonna let you come up and share some of this. Tim, I'm not gonna let you do that to the women of God. I'm not.
X is on here.
Yeah,
X, come on.
I'm not gonna let you do that to these women of God, talking
Crazy.
about they don't have no balance.
They don't.
No, because a lot. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
Let's see. Very small percentage of folks are like that. But no, let me tell you, Snoop, there's a large percentage of people who like the idea of a relationship, like the idea of marriage, like the idea, but have zero tolerance for another person. What are we talking about? Bree, we talking about folk. Tim that wrote on my Facebook saying that the reason it should be okay for folk not to keep their word when they're dating is because they're busy. And if these women would get busy too, then they wouldn't even be realizing that a man ain't keeping his word.
No.
That's basically what Tim said.
I'm busy.
The biggest problem is don't say it if you don't mean it. It's that simple. If you don't have time today, you don't have time today. Like respectfully, I will tell people like, yeah, I can't deal with what you got going on today. I have a full schedule. Sorry. I can't do it today. We could talk later, maybe tomorrow.
So
But
at what stage in a relationship are you saying that to, Tony?
what
Ooh, hey, if I told a woman I'll talk to you tomorrow,
You saying
you're
that when y'all are just talking or y'all in a relationship? What stage is
it
that?
don't even, I'm
at
dead.
point. I feel like it's be upfront with people.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. What happened to the Xavier?
I
I want him to come up.
don't know.
Yeah, hey Xavier, it won't let me invite you. So send a request to come up. Xavier
You're
Bozo.
not able to invite.
I can't. When I click on the thing, his name doesn't come up. When I type it, it doesn't
Oh,
pop up either. Here's the thing. If a person is considering you as their person, one of the surest ways to undermine their trust and confidence in you as their person is to constantly not show up for them.
agreed.
To constantly be either you only got 30 minutes or you ain't got the energy or whatever. You don't show up for them because if that person wanted to be by themselves, what do they need you for? The reality is a lot of you saints, y'all try to sanctify it. Y'all just want friends with benefits. You really don't want to be married. You really don't want
But that's
relationship.
what
You just
just say that should be an upfront conversation. Somebody is willing to play. You just got to find the right person who's willing to play with you.
Ain't nobody, let me tell y'all this, Saints, ain't nobody saved willing to play. If they willing to play, something is off in their milk. They need another dipping. Glory to God.
But there's some people that are acting like they're looking for a relationship and they're looking to play. That's
Definitely. A lot of people.
yeah. Like, oh, I want to know you better. You want to get to know my insides better. Put your eyes back down.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. And here's the deal, especially if you all are saints, if y'all are saved, and all you're trying to get to know is somebody's insides, you need an altar. You need an altar. Like what? You need an altar, and it's not just inside, because it's some of you women who are looking to be driven inside. So it ain't just the men now.
What happened here? Oh man.
Let's play. Amen is out.
Let's see. Nah, every guy looking this should have been on the Zoom. I have a lot to say. Come on, we're gonna bring Snoopy up, y'all. He said he got a lot to say. Let me see.
Uh-oh.
It won't let me. You got to send a request. For some reason, I can only see a select few people.
I heard a pastor say it's okay to play and test drive first. I was like, huh?
Any pastor who said that needs to find an altar.
It's test driving the saints.
Test driving. Test driving and probably ain't got no insurance. You better make time to get to know these folks. So here's the deal. If you get into a it won't let you request either. If you get into a relationship with someone, one of the primary expectations that any person who enters in a relationship with you should be able to have, a basic expectation, is the investment of time. Number one. Number two is that you keep your word.
Agree.
Right? You do what you say you're going to do. You show up when you say you're going to show up. You be where you say you're going to be, busy or not. And when you're serious, most of my dating has been long distance, right? And even before marriage, when you're serious, anywhere is a plane ride away. When you are serious, whether you got, I don't know, what is it, Tim? How often are you on a plane, Tim, for work? How often are you on a plane for work, Tim?
I'm scared.
Huh?
I'm scared to fly now, but I hear you.
Oh, you scared now. Now Tim's scared to fly. When did you get that fear, Tim? God has not given it to us.
So you flying out.
Yeah.
Now Bishop, let me ask you this. When you fly out, what's your expectation?
Here we go.
What do you mean?
Okay, you land, you going to meet the girl you're talking to. What you expect on the trip?
I expect for us to invest time. That's what I expect. Am I expecting sex? I'm saved, Tim.
Breathe.
I'm abstinent, Tim.
I didn't say nothing about sex. I just said, what's your expectation?
Okay, I expect an investment of time, because don't make me clear out space in my schedule, take a flight, and then you talking about how busy you are.
So you flying, you're going to go and get you something to eat. That's okay.
We're going to invest time. I'm not flying. What are the options, Tim? What else should I be expecting?
Some vagina.
Wrong thing.
What should I be expecting, Tim?
He said vagina.
Because here's the deal. Let me tell you ladies something. What a lot of men, I ain't saying Tim, but what a lot of men are...
No,
right.
I didn't say that.
Right. What a lot of men are teaching y'all is that the value of your holies of holies is a flight and dinner.
No, come on now.
Hey, thank you, Bree. That's awful. That is.
Excuse me, if I'm told that if I fly you out or if I fly out, then there's an expectation, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, but hold up though. Some of these women have expectations. If you flying out there, you dropping a D.
Well, whoever got the expectation.
I,
Y'all again, are y'all men and women saved? That's what I need to know. Are y'all saved?
But that's, I mean,
I done went back to eating my cashews. Are y'all present your bodies, Romans 12. Hallelujah.
As a living
A
sacrifice.
living sacrifice, holy, not whorish,
but they're
and acceptable.
in their bodies elsewhere.
Man, you over here
Wait,
present.
let me ask a question. What is it that prompted this conversation?
We're talking
What was
about
said?
too busy to date.
30 minutes
And
prompted.
then we
So
progress.
who said that they were too busy to date?
Tim on my status, I wrote a status about being too busy to date. Tim said,
read the correct context.
okay, let me read the status for those of you that don't follow
Because
me.
he liked to take statuses and stuff out of context.
Don't he do?
How can
He do that to me.
how can I take my own status? It's my status. How can I take
When
my status
we
out of
say
context?
stuff, you take it out of context.
No, I keep it in context. Y'all don't like to get nailed down to what y'all say. Y'all like to use words
Wait,
that don't want to be held to.
wait a minute. Find the status. Tell me what Tim said,
Dear
and then we're gonna
singles,
talk about it.
here's the status. Dear singles, saints that are just coming in, sanctify your loins. Glory to God. The saints of the living God, we still practice abstinence in holiness. Huh?
So okay,
Hey, Bishop.
so what did Tim say?
Hey, Bree, hold on. Let me ask you. Hey, Bishop, give me the context on why is Delilah so bad. What's up with
No, wait a minute. Tell me what Tim said.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Tim
Bree.
said that's why we should date someone just as busy. Individuals who do nothing always require more time. That was in response to my status that busy is not an excuse to not keep your word. The busier you
Well,
are, the more responsibility you have to manage your schedule so that you can keep your word.
Put your
but
eyes on.
well, Tim be busy because Tim got a lot of
Oh,
hoes. The thing about it
Wait a minute
is,
now, Bree. We're not outing Tim on the.
no, we gotta be honest. We gotta be honest. Tim, listen. First of all, for context purposes, I've been knowing Tim for what 12, 13, 14, maybe
Long
15
time.
years. Very long time. So I know Tim
Bree!
better than a lot of people know him. Tim is the type of man. This is where he is. He's a really good man. However, he wants to have some options to know what he wants.
I'm not mad at that. Come on. I'm mad at that.
St. Drew. See,
See, no. Don't try to go past that, Bishop. Don't try to go
well,
past what
I'm gonna come to
so,
that. I'm gonna come to.
St. Drew. We don't want to hear. That's my little brother, too. Hey, St. Drew, skip you for right now. I need you to address what Bree just said.
Well, what Bree said is that you don't have a lot of time because you want to have a lot of options. Is
Here
that
we
what you
go.
said, Bree?
No, what I said is that was a two-part statement.
Okay.
Tim has options, which he should, because the life and the industry that he's in, there is who is this Brie and why is she doing this to my brother? Oh, I don't know who that is. Tim is in the industry where there is so many women after him because of his gifts, right? So
These women be after
he
Tim
has
because
he
Tim
has
be on here
he
putting
it,
on
no,
like he
wait a
ready to
minute,
get
Let me
married.
finish.
Tim be on
wait,
here putting on.
wait. No, because I wait a minute. It's 46 people on here, and I know some of the women on here probably like him. I'm trying to get in some game because I be seeing how they be all up under his statuses and all this different type of things, and I'm trying to help y'all out. Tim, very good guy, but he's very charismatic, wonderful individual.
Hey, Bree, what's your
However, if you don't possess a certain something for him, he's never going to look your way. You could be fine as all outdoors, big booty, all of that. But he's never going to look your way because you're not possessing exactly what he
But
wants, and
wait,
that's
Bree,
just how Tim is.
this is not a
Hey, hold on.
conversation
Can
with
we
Tim tonight.
listen? That just resonated for
This
about
is
10
not a
seconds before
get
you.
Tim. This is not a good Tim
Hey,
hooked up tonight. Let's go back to the statement of Tim not having time because he has so
can
many options.
we let that just marinate for just a couple minutes? That was so beautiful.
But he has so many options because what these women are giving to him is not giving what it needs to give.
I, I'm not no. Now
Y'all
let me
don't
tell
want
you
to
the
have
problem.
no church.
Let me
Oh,
tell you the problem with
Bree,
what you just said, Bree.
Bree is working this.
Let me tell you the problem with what you just said, Bree. You just made the women
Oh God,
responsible
Oh
for
God, here we go.
here we
Always trying to
Tim's
woman dog loose the situation, man.
for
How
Tim's
you?
for Tim's indecision. You just said the reason he got so many options because the women ain't giving what they supposed to be giving.
they're not.
So the problem from what you're saying is that inherently the problem is the women.
I don't even know why I came on here.
That's what you just said.
Because he's a manipulator. It's only called know what he's trying to shift what you're saying.
No. Y'all trying to run from what Bree just said a second ago,
No,
and I'm trying to bring us
he's
back.
going to create his own narrative to what your context of what you're saying, so he can pull you into his bull crap.
See this chaos y'all are creating is just to deflect from what you just said. What you just said, Tim, or what you just amen that Bree said, is that the reason you got so many options is because the women ain't giving what they are supposed to be giving. I
But
want
that's
us
the truth,
to
though.
sit with that. I want us to sit with that. So it has nothing to do with
That's the
Tim.
truth.
It has nothing to do with Tim. It's all on the women.
No, it has everything to do with Tim. That's the problem. That's why they keep beating their head up against the wall, trying to figure out why he won't take them on a date. Because they're not giving him exactly what he wants. What's your question, Monty?
I don't have a question. I have a statement.
What's up, babe?
Tim,
Mm.
okay, Tim already has a main chick, right? His main look, everybody eyes done got big.
No, Tim, don't.
Yeah,
No, I can't let that go over there.
Wait a minute.
because
Wait
Tim
a minute.
does not have no main chick.
I'm
Mm-mm.
thank you. I'm finna get these views up, right? So
No, you can ready to get the views
no,
down because they're gonna say, "Oh, he do. We out."
They going up.
they're going up.
They going up.
Oh my God. Mm-mm.
Let her say this. Who is like? Okay, so tell us, dissect that
Let,
for us.
let me cook, right? So Tim's main chick is his music. He wants a side chick to his music, and that's why he's not able.
Now,
He's not
Monty's
gonna give.
preaching.
He's not gonna give no woman any type of time
Preaching.
because all of that time
Monty.
goes to his music and traveling here and traveling there. And if she can't get with his program, she can leave.
Dang. This is,
Tim,
Is that
I got. I'm.
Tim, is that accurate? Is that an accurate assessment, Tim?
yes?
Hold on.
Look at this.
Sit with it for a
Look
minute. Sit with
at
it.
this face.
You see, I didn't interrupt immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
you did.
just didn't like. I didn't like the wording of the
You didn't like
style.
the chick
I
part.
didn't
I get
I
it.
like that part.
listen. I know what the problem is, but I'm not gonna say it on here.
Oh,
But
I think I
Tim,
think
would
Tim
you
I
say what
think Tim
Monty
gonna
just
be
said?
think I
Hold
think
on.
Tim, I don't
Let's not
think Tim
run
is ever
past.
gonna get
Let's
married
not run
again.
past what Monty said. Tim, is that accurate?
I just gave my answer. I said it was cool. It was good, but I do have room.
Xavier said a real musician wants a safe space, and that's the part it's referring to. Is Xavier a musician? Is he a
That's
musician?
Oh yeah,
Xavier, I wish we
it
could
would
see
have been
you.
great if X could have came up. X would have been great.
oh please.
Go out, X, and see if you can come
I,
back in so we can bring you up. Because I
I,
feel like I need to have a come to Jesus with you tonight. I feel
This
like you and I need to.
first of all, this safe space crap. Let me tell you something.
This is the what?
You tired of safe space?
I'm so tired of people hitting women need a safe space. Men need to say
Yeah.
no. Let me tell you what the problem is. Tim, I don't want to say he wasted years, But what
Wait,
he's
but why
doing
y'all
now,
have why are we having
no.
a Tim meeting tonight? We
Wait
can
a
do
minute.
that off.
We're not having a Tim meeting, but he's going to talk about stuff like you're not going to do this because your dating life is too private, but and we're not going to do that. But here's the thing. Tim, I don't want to say he wasted years, but Tim was what Tim is doing now, like the album, the books and stuff. He wasn't able to do that 12, 13, 14 years
Come on,
ago.
this
He was.
Bree prophetic. Come
No,
on,
no,
Bree.
I've been for real. I've been knowing you for a long time, so I know. So that's why when you put out the CD, the album and stuff or whatever, I told you like I'm proud of you because I know that's been your passion. That's what you want to do, and I think now he talks a lot. Tim runs his mouth a whole lot, but he gets a bad rap. But what he's doing now, he should have been did this 10, 11, 12 years ago. So it looks like that he doesn't have time or he doesn't have space or he doesn't have this, but it's like I'm trying to catch up on something that I was supposed to do 10 years ago.
But that doesn't change the truth that because of
Oh,
that,
I got 5 minutes.
and it's not just a Tim, right? Tim represents a type of person who is in a certain season in their life where they're grinding, they're trying to produce, they're doing whatever, making stuff happen. That doesn't change the fact that that focus may be incompatible with the desire for a healthy and serious relationship.
I don't agree with that.
You just said that the reason he doesn't have time, number one, is because he's doing what he should have couldn't do years ago, right? So if he doesn't have time, number one, that's what you said, he doesn't have time. That's incompatible with building a healthy relationship.
But who
How
want
can you
but
build a healthy relationship without time?
so define the amount of time it takes to build a relationship. Is that like I gotta talk to you an hour out of the 24 hours in a day?
I think one of the signs that you're not intentionally building is that, and I'm not saying you, I mean a person is not
Yeah.
intentionally building, is that you need to place a metric on it. I need to define a certain amount of time.
Senegal, you know what? You do this every single time we get on these pop-ups.
Indeed, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to stretch. I'm here to stretch our
No,
thinking and stretch what we're saying. If I
no,
have to put
you're
a
going down in
metric,
the. You're going to.
if
No, I'm asking you.
there
Okay,
is no
okay.
metric, there is no metric.
So how do we know that he don't have the time to
Because
do
before
whatever?
you came on here, Tim told us he has 30 minutes.
He got 30 minutes for what?
A conversation.
That's true. His attention span ain't that long. I think he ADHD.
All right. So that's how we know he ain't got enough time. Let's see what these comments are saying.
So wait, so Tim, you got 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes to have a conversation with a chick that you with.
No, I told him. See, that's the bad
Now
context.
I can't be on here defending you, and you always talking about some 30
Bree,
minutes.
I can give him 30. I can give 30 in the morning, 30 in the afternoon. I'm talking about we on the phone, FaceTime, and 30 at night, and we build it for more time over time.
But you a text all day though.
What?
You a text all
He's
day.
not
But
doing that either. He's not
you're not
texting all
texting
day.
either.
Yeah, texting. I text.
Oh,
Listen to the
he a text. Now he gonna text
I
now.
text.
I can
he's
text
going.
him at 2:00 in the morning. He gonna text back at 2:30.
Come on. Bishop
That's
said texting don't count.
That's not what I said. I
What did
said
you say?
texting is a supplement, not a replacement. That's what I said.
But you know, Senegal is very
Well, hold on.
wants to talk.
Let's look at
He
what the
want
research
he
said.
want to
Let's come out
he
of all
want to
this
hear
opinion-based
he
stuff.
want to hear your
Let's come
voice.
out of all this. Well, if you want to be married to somebody, you shouldn't want to hear their voice. Hello? Hello? How can you want to be in a healthy relationship with somebody and you don't want to hear their voice? Let's see these comments. It should be organic between two people. I agree, Sonia. Time ain't on your side, though. You're not 25. Tell them they say you better stop playing time now.
Yeah, because Tim, you are getting a little. Oh, where is Xavier at? He seems like a very interesting person.
Snoopy wants to come up. Hold on. We got to bring Snoopy
Here,
up.
Come on. My girl Brittany. What's up, Britt?
When Tim finds the woman he wants, he will make the time. See, again, hold on. We're going to
I
bring
don't know about that.
Snoop, and then I see Xavier. We're going to bring Xavier. We're coming, Xavier. Just hang on. Let's see what Snoop got. And then we come and Snoop, I just accepted your invitation.
I gotta stop trolling because they gonna come
How
up
are
here
you
and they
doing?
gonna eat me up.
I'm good.
Good. Tell us your thoughts.
There's a lot of good points, but I'm like, you have to have time. I'm a busy guy. I work. I'm a full time dad, but I get the point that 30. You need more than 30 minutes. It has to be organic, right? But the women I would talk to, they don't like. They want you to have all the time, and I can't. I just can't give them all the
What does
time
that
because
look like?
I'm at work for like 10 hours a day.
Okay, so
So by the time I
Mr.
get home,
Mr. Snoop, take us through your day. So you wake up in the morning at what time?
I'm usually up at 6.
Okay, you get up at 6 o'clock a.m.
I'm in the office by 9. I
Okay,
usually get out the office between 5 and 6 if I don't have a full
so
day.
what you doing
But
between 6 a.m. and 8?
between 6 and 8,
6
I'm getting
a.m.
ready.
and 8.
Yeah, I'm up.
So
I
so
have
so
time.
here's the difference, right? We're not talking about constant communication. We're talking about consistent communication.
Mhm.
Constant contact or the need for constant contact is indicative of an anxious attachment style. The need or desire for consistent communication is healthy. Consistent communication means there is a predictable pattern of communication, i.e., a person shouldn't have to wonder if they're going to hear from you in 2 days or the next day or 4 days later. That's not about constant contact. Somebody want to be on the phone with you all day long. Okay, I don't think that's not what I'm talking about anyway. They should be able to expect consistent communication though from you.
Yeah. So I wrote there's some sources of a combination of communication, like text, maybe a phone call for 2 minutes while you're going into the office, maybe at lunchtime. It's how you use
That's
that. I think
healthy.
that would be predictable, right? I mean, you're not forcing it, right? I'm not forcing you to text you all day or to call you. Um, I have discernment, so I'm like, if I feel that you're not like, I'm not gonna make it happen if you're gonna be ditching me all the time to call, and you know I'm making an effort to call you.
Hey, those of you that are on, put this in the chat. Consistency is bare
I
minimum.
like this dude, man. Snoop, my guy.
Consistency is bare
Hey,
minimum.
Snoop, what you say she be doing? What she be doing when?
Well,
What's the word you say she be doing?
my daughter's distracted me, so I'm like, wait, hold on.
You.
Point it now.
You all right? Never mind. Go ahead, Senator. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But Snoop, if
stop.
you're talking about constant contact, I get it. That can be unreasonable. But consistency, which again, when we're talking about consistency, we're talking about something that a pattern of predictability can be built on. If a person has to constantly be wondering if and when they're going to hear from you, it's impossible for their attachment system to downregulate if they constantly have to wonder, am I even going to hear from this person? Am I even
Absolutely,
going to have a
But who's
conversation with
sitting
them?
absolutely.
wondering that though? Like who's sitting like I wonder am I gonna if
Yeah.
it's if here's my thing. Here's my thing. If I have to sit and wonder, am I gonna talk to this person? That means I want to talk to you. So I'm gonna text you and be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Like I'm not about to sit and just be like, well, I wonder are they gonna
Come
talk to
on,
you
Green.
then?
Well, no,
But that happens though. It actually
it's
happens, and
fair.
I'll use me as an example. I'll text somebody, and I'm like, all right, this an hour or two go by. I'm like, okay, obviously you're not busy. You're sitting on the couch. You see
How you
me
know?
texting them. Well, they tell me, oh, I was on the couch watching a movie.
Cause
I
my
text you 2 hours
phone was
ago.
plugged up by the popcorn maker, and I was sitting on the couch eating me some popcorn and watching a movie.
I don't. I don't. If you want
Listen,
somebody, you know they're gonna be texting you. You know you starting that initial relationship piece. You're trying to get to a point. You don't leave cliffhangers off of people, and then
So
now,
I'm
hey,
that kind of guy.
hey,
now,
Snoop,
Snoop, an hour
that's
um, maybe a little
a
too.
I'm
little.
I'm just giving a number. I'm not saying
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
specific.
saying an
I'm
hour may
just
be a
saying.
little,
Yeah.
a little too rigid. But to Bree's question of who, if a person is in that dynamic, for instance, to the example that Snoop just gave, and they feel like they're doing all the initiating of the
Right.
conversation, all of the initiating of the contact, it is perfectly acceptable for that person to say, I'm going to set a boundary. I'm not doing all of the initiating. Somebody say, why is he acting like it's 3 to 5 business days?
She said
I'm
what?
not doing I'm not doing so that's not unreasonable. That's not unreasonable.
3 to
Well,
5 business days.
wait, where did Xavier go? Come on, Xavier. Yes,
I'm
Snoop.
married, by the
I
way, so
Is
I don't
your
have these problems anymore. But
Yeah, Snoop, consistent communication. And those are things that should be communicated about. There should be a question. Once you start building a pattern of talking to somebody, what is your expectation around communication patterns, right? How frequently? Is it primarily text? Is it call? Tim sounds like he's primarily a texter. Is that accurate, Tim? I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you this though, you can't build a relationship primarily on text. But
Nah.
if there's communication around what the expectation is, then that helps with some of the anxiety. But yeah, Snoop, I hear what you're saying. I appreciate you coming up. We're gonna get Xavier up here.
All
See
right.
what he's
Thank
saying.
you. All right, buddy.
Tim is stupid. I swear to God. Let me tell you something. If we were still on the radio in today's time, they
I
would
would be. I
crucify
probably.
us.
Hey, I'll
They
probably
would
be dead.
crucify us.
It'd be bad.
Wait,
Oh,
Xavier, sit back. Let me see. Oh, I know this.
oh
This
yeah. That's what I
thing.
thought. Yeah.
I, so you're saying you said a real musician needs a real safe space, and that's why y'all don't be getting into healthy relationships.
No, think that I think that we stray away from the decision to go into
Xavier got on his
go into a
Is he
preacher
a
relationship.
tip. He got on his
preacher?
preacher.
No, but he come on to work, X.
Come
Come on
on,
to work.
work.
Like, give us a word of prayer first.
I'm just conversing with you guys. You guys asked me to come and I'm just conversing.
Conversing is crazy.
That's all I'm really doing. I'm honestly though, I think it's just when I say safe space, I'm just saying like I'm referring to the term of today's generation. It's hard to trust someone.
Hmm.
So, in encountering so many people and having so many letdowns or encountering so many letdowns, it causes you to, it creates reservations. And so, because you have reservations, you rather, and that's why Tim was saying, well, the young lady Monty, that's what she was saying, that playing is Tim's first girl because he knows that's a safe space. I'm not going to fail here. This here I'm really good at, and I'd rather put my money on this than make the decision to try with you and then the same thing happens. So I'd rather stay by myself.
So that's a significant trust issue, X. That
Great
if
point.
past disappointments and broken relationships have created this whole need to avoid the potential for failure. And so, in order to do that, I maintain a certain level of emotional distance so that I don't have to experience that again.
May
Then there's some more
I,
healing. Yeah,
may
yeah.
I
Go ahead.
share? I don't want to horn in on saying, on the trust factor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying from what you were saying, from what Tim is saying, from what I gathered is I'm busy, and if you want to be here, love it. Time is here. Here's a chair. Sit with me. When the time is there, we can spend it. But if I'm on the move, then that's what it calls for.
So, so from what I just heard, Xavier, I would interpret that as the woman, or if it's a female musician, the man needs to be okay with being the musician's hobby.
No,
Because when
Senegal,
we're
please, I don't.
talking about, hold on,
please.
I
let me
I
finish.
don't.
Hold
I
on, let me
don't.
finish. Hold on, let me finish. If we say that I'm busy, time is there, there's a chair, right? This is what it said. And when we get time, then well, that's what we do with hobbies. Things that are priorities, we make time for. Hobbies fit in the time we have left over.
But you
All right,
have to
wait.
really stop doing this
So
to people that come up here and
No,
talk.
no, it's
no,
okay.
no, I'm not. I'm going to take exactly
One
what they
thing,
say and I'm going to
one
respond.
thing I
Too
That's what I'm
listen.
going
much.
to do.
Bishop,
No,
stop,
That's what I'm
man.
going to do.
it's okay. Let him,
Hold on. Wait a
please
minute. Hold
let
on.
him be.
Y'all that are in the
I want
comments,
him to be him.
y'all
Let
that are
him
in
be
the
him, Tim. Do not
comments,
discourage.
and listen,
Do not
I
discourage
love
the
this man
bishop
of
from
God,
being him.
Scripture. Xavier, he all right with me. Y'all that are in the
Yeah, don't be
comments,
discouraged. I want him. I
did,
want him to. I want him to share.
did y'all that are
So
in the comments, did anybody else get the same thing that I just said? Y'all let me know if anybody else that are listening heard the same thing that are processed it in the same way that I did.
no. All right. So wait a minute, because what I don't want you to do is to take an opportunity to. That's not
We
what I'm going to
lost
do.
you.
That's
We lost you. You said take an opportunity to what?
I don't want you to take an opportunity to be able to run with that. Like that's where the snippets come in. We run with that. That's not what I was saying. What I am
It
saying
might
is
be
that
a clip, X. It
I,
might be a clip. No, I'm
I
kidding.
know, That's why I gotta wow. Let me burn that idea of what people may try to run with. Let's burn that idea. Um, I want to make sure that I dispel that. I'm not saying that you become a hobby. I'm saying that if we have communication between each other, which you were saying everything, like I've been in a whirlwind of learning lessons myself. I think something that you said was great was about the communication. And there's a difference between consistent communication and overwhelming
Right,
communication.
right.
Now, I think that's where sometimes us men lose our withband to be able to to be able to I want to use the correct word where we lose our withband for our patience. So because we don't have, so that's what you're initially saying about Tim is that he loses his patience to stay in something because it's like, okay, enough. We've talked. We've texted all day. Give me a break. But it's not it shouldn't be that way. And so I'm with my brother Tim, but what I do want to make sure that we share that's why I
Tim, you
said it's
just
about
got to.
compromise.
X just gave you a gentle rebuke there, Tim. He gave you a
It's
gentle.
yeah, 'cause it's about compromising. We
Yeah,
must still
But
compromise.
yeah.
but
That's
I
a lesson
think
that I've learned.
but I think too though, to be completely honest with you, so just to you're right. Tim does have to have a little bit more patience. He's never really had patience since I've known him, really. However, I think what a lot of women do have to understand as well when they're dating men who are musicians, preachers, whatever, that not silently you're going to be second, but you're not going to be first. You're not, especially when it comes in a space of being a musician. Now, I'm not saying you're shaking your head, but it's not always a bad thing. I'm not. It's not. Maybe I'm explaining it a little wrong.
I want you.
So
Could you do me a favor? I want you to explain that over because I want to be able to digest that again because I didn't
okay.
hear everything reading
So
messages.
as a woman, if you're dating, y'all are musicians. I'll say musician. Um, I don't want to say you're gonna come second. However, if this is a musician who has not made it to a certain space where they want to make it musically, you are going to feel in a way that you are second. Not saying that is the mentality of the man, like you come second to my music, but while this man is building and doing what he's doing, you may have to compromise a conversation or two. And I think a lot of women nowadays, they want all of your time, and then when you're not giving it to them, that is the problem. Just like the dude said that was just up here, like, I'm married now, however, the career that my husband is in, when he and I first got together, I can't expect him to talk to me all the time. I can't expect him to, every time I call, he's answering, or like, I couldn't expect that, and I had to be okay with that because I understood the career and what he's doing. And I think a lot of women nowadays, they don't really have understanding. Now, if you just like, you telling the girl like, you come second, you this, like, I just think it's like you said, a lot of compromise. If you are always gigging or whatever, bring her to your gigs. You know what I'm saying? Like certain stuff like that. If that is the woman that you want to be with, and don't just bring anybody to it. But I just think that it's not, you can't expect this person to have so much time to have a conversation on the phone with you. Now, if you text them and they're texting you back, like Tim is a texter, then cool. But I just think all of this, you gotta talk to me 24 hours a day. That's too much. Like we don't even have
But
enough to talk
that's an
about.
exaggeration. I don't think. I mean, I know what our man Snoop was talking about, but I don't think that we're talking about talking 24 hours a day. And so I don't want us to create these extreme
But you
opposites
didn't
of.
answer my question when I said, what is a healthy balance of phone conversation?
Well, because there is no predetermined prescription of
Yeah, there's
what
no
is a health,
pamphlet.
what
There's
is
no
a healthy.
pamphlet. Yeah.
But what I wanna go back to is no woman or men for that matter do not ever settle in a relationship for feeling like you come second. Now, if what makes you feel like you come second is that a person can't be at your beck and call 24/7, then you have a balance issue, right? Your perception is the problem there. But if what's making you feel like you come second is that you are never prioritized, that's a problem. I am busy. Last year, I was on a plane 200,000 miles in the air. I got a lot of stuff going on. But when I am on somebody, it is intentional effort for me for them to always feel like, even if they can't get me to answer the phone, what they can count on is that I will call you back. They can have the security of knowing that I am consistent, even if I can't be constant. I'm talking
Can I ask you a
better than
question?
y'all talking to
Can I
me.
ask you a question, Bishop?
Yes,
Can I ask you a question?
yes.
So, are you saying because I neglect to call back? Because man, dag, I'll say it. That's me. I'm big on not calling back, but it's not intentional. It's really, really not intentional. And most of the times, maybe I forget, or maybe I'm just doing something. But I hate it that it's scrutinized that this is you. You're always going to do that. No, it's not. But unfortunately, I do it often.
So,
But what about the other
but right
qualities
there.
that are still? But wait. I just want to before you run. I hear you. I hear
I'm
it
not
in
running.
you.
I just want it right
Okay.
there.
I just want to know. Amongst the one thing that I do wrong, isn't there so much? Isn't there so much more that I do right?
Come on.
Does that does
Come
that
on
out
now. Come on.
does that outweigh the man that I continue to be to
Come
you
on.
or give to you? What but now I don't want what I do want to do is make sure I kick my own butt. That does not say that I should not hold myself accountable.
I
But what I do want to know is where does
come
grace come in?
on.
In
Tim,
a when we're talking
shut
about
up.
in the context of a relationship, it is an unhealthy precedence to
Oh,
set that your partner has to always understand why a person can't keep their word, why their person can't show up, why their person is not intentional. Let me tell you something. I am horrible I don't like being on the phone with random people. I like to talk to my people. But if you're not in my like, I'm not, I don't do the phone. But when it comes to someone that I am taking on any level of responsibility for, whether that's in a romantic sense or any other sense, a friend, I want them to be able to have the confidence of knowing that something as simple as a phone call, if they call me, I'm going to call them back.
But wait a minute, let me say this too. I don't want anyone to think, or a woman or whatever, to think that I'm saying that it's okay to come second to someone. What I'm saying is you have to have a certain level of understanding when there are certain jobs that these or careers that some men have, even women. I'm not just talking about, because you have women nowadays too who are in wonderful careers. You know, they're busy. They're doing so. It goes both ways. So this is not a women bashing thing. That's not what I'm trying. That's not what I'm doing in no type of way. If this man or a woman, or this man or woman is making you feel like you come second, then I get that. What I'm saying is you have to have a level of understanding as well. Like this man said, he knows that he has a problem with calling people back. I do too. I have a really bad habit of not calling people
Do
back.
you have a problem with not calling your husband back?
No, because I'm obligated to my
So,
husband.
so, so, so he's not just talking about calling people back. He's talking about his person. That's different.
No, you can't say his person, and if that's his wife, he gonna call her back. And let me
Well,
tell you this.
well,
And let me
remember, he
hold up,
said something.
hold up. And let me tell you. And let me tell you this. And let me tell you this. E- let's say my husband, right? Let's say I do forget to call him back. That's my husband.
Come
So
on.
my husband knows me. My husband knows. Okay. Or I'm gonna text her. Brie, did you see I called you? Oh snap! Let me call my husband back. Something like that. We can't say a girlfriend and a wife or a boyfriend, and because I am legally obligated to that man.
But you're not legally obligated to call him back. My point
I'm
to that was he
legally
said,
I'm legally obligated. I'm legally obligated
but let me tell you why I
to
made that
see
analogy,
what's going
Bree,
on with my
because
husband.
he said that the
I'm coming
woman,
back. I just going to get my charger.
okay, he said that the woman then assesses his viability for the next level of partnership through that. The only way that your husband, that Larry became your husband and you became his wife is because there had to be a pattern of dependability and trust built. You're not going to get into a marriage with
Yeah,
somebody who's
but
already shown you that
but
they can't prioritize you.
I don't think a woman, and I could be wrong. I don't think a woman is not going to the next level of commitment with a man because, so like he said, if I don't call you back, and I know I have a bad habit of that, but what about all of the other things that I've done for you? I don't I don't understand. And like I said, I could be wrong. I just don't understand how you can just not go to the next level with someone, even a man. Like, you're not going to go to the next level with this woman because she forget to call you back. But what
Again, we're
about
not talking about, because I want us to make sure we don't create these polarized extremes. We're not talking about one-offs. From what he was saying, we're talking about a pattern of something, not
yeah,
a one-off.
he has a pattern of forgetting to call back.
Right. So we're talking about a pattern. We're not talking about a one-off, don't call back. A pattern.
Right. That's
Communication.
his. But he said that's his pattern.
Right.
Not that he never calls back, but his pattern. Not saying he never, like, they never talk, but his pattern is he forgets to call back. Not saying that they don't ever
Which
talk.
means,
I don't think that should determine a woman going to the next level with
which
him. I
means
don't think that's fair.
if he's saying that's his pattern, he's saying that and correct me if I'm speaking for you incorrectly, that would be happening more frequently than him calling back. So whatever we make consistent deposits into in terms of our behavior, if our behavior is I'm consistently inconsistent,
Yeah,
then yes, that
we,
that's going to speak and way more. And I think it's unfair for us, whether it's about calling back or whatever it is. I think it's unfair for us to say to a person, hey, if you have this need and this need is not met, then but I'm doing something else, then that need not being met should not matter.
No,
no,
no, no.
that okay.
No.
Wait, wait,
I'm
wait,
not
wait,
saying it
wait.
don't
May I
matter.
may I interject there? May I
Yeah.
interject there? I would never be selfish to make that type of statement.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
not
think.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's
And
not
that
that it don't matter.
because communication on across all boards is a non-negotiable, regardless of what you're in, what you're doing. It's a non-negotiable.
For sure.
Um, but what I'm making my point too when I said, well, what about everything else? Is I just don't want you to allow your frustration of this to deter your understanding as well as your knowledge and as well as your memory on what you know I do well at everything else. Now, yeah, And then you made a statement about saying in the beginning, you started off your dialogue, you said, no one should have to be understanding to, but why not? We
Look,
must
let's put that back
always
in
be
context.
understanding. I just want to finish sharing before you go. We must always be understanding to each other's downfalls, our proclivities, our ups, our downs. Um, that's what makes us. That's what makes us us. That's what's our creation. And if you come into my circumference and you know that's something that I have, and I'm not saying that again, I want to make sure it's 50 people on here, so I don't want to kill my own self. I'm not saying that my habit is a good thing. It is not a good thing. I'm just sharing truth. I'm not, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes
Sure.
we get that being translucent and being transparent. I don't want to get that. I'm being transparent in this conversation to say that it is something that is can be worked on, sure. But I don't want it, I just feel like it becomes so high on the pole of who I am to you when that's not me. But I understand that it's created a reservation in your heart. But everything else that I do should do some type of settling for that. Would you say that, Bishop?
It depends on what that person's needs are.
Correct. That's why I said, but that's why. So when we sit down, tell me what your absolutes are. Because I need to know that.
Don't
I
worry.
don't want to,
Hey,
I don't want to be,
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. Hey, we gotta stop this. X, when you getting on the phone with some of
whoa,
these
whoa, whoa,
young
whoa, 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 what?
whoever,
Okay,
whoever, but we
okay.
are living in a generation. We're not just women, but men. They lack substance. They don't have nothing to talk about when we get on the phone. We got to stop all of this. Oh, you can't stop them. You should hit them up. When I hit you up, have something to discuss. I'm not about to sit on the phone talking about what you're doing.
So Tim,
I
my question
don't
to
want to
that,
talk. What?
my question to
Yeah.
that is, why is it her responsibility to entertain you? Are
So
you
add,
creating substantive conversation?
okay. So why is it? Why she get upset if I say I'm gonna call you back? I got some. I got business I got to take care of. What
So
the hell?
okay, so
I'm
then
not doing on the
that's
phone.
fair. That's fair, Tim. So then my question to you is: at what point, once you realize that this person does not have the substance, at what point do you stop leading them on or entertaining
I
them?
got to give them a chance. I got to see if somehow
That's
we.
the problem, Tim. See, that's the issue that we have, Tim.
You know,
Is y'all be using, and I don't mean you in particular. People be using people to just fill in their gaps
I don't need
of
gap
of leftover time.
Bishop. I don't need gap fillers. No. I give fair amount of time just to see which. Okay, can we discuss politics? Okay, that ain't your thing. You go on Instagram and the change. That ain't politics. That's black. Okay, you don't know the Bible, cool. But you got but the only thing spiritual connected to you is what you heard God telling you. But what you heard, you don't know the written word, but you always got a word. All right, get away from me. I don't want that. I don't want it, Bishop. I don't want no. I don't. I a liturgical dancer. That's connected to trauma. Putting white
I
face. Talk about
I
when
I want to go
Tim,
back
you
to
gotta
I
grow
want
up.
to
You
go
gotta
back
stop.
it.
to
What are you
what
talking
David
about?
said. That
Hey, Bishop.
I agree
Hey,
up
Bishop.
front.
Hey, Bishop. The NBA first day expansion. A lot of contracts were signed. A lot of history was made. If I had a woman that called me and said, "Hey, Tim, did you see what the Knicks, the move they made?" I might get married just to see what's going on. I don't want to talk about
But
sexy.
what I'm hearing, Tim, is that you place a lot of the onus
No,
on
you.
her.
Yeah, you know why? Because
Right.
women nowadays feel like they're entitled to only for men to get to know them, and they don't have to get to know the man.
Now
That's
I agree with that. I agree. I
okay.
agree. Amen.
Yeah, amen.
Wait, say that again. Wait a minute now. I'm the only woman on here. Say that one more time. You said women
They
what?
feel they have an entitlement and feel that only men should get to know them, and they don't have to get to know the man.
I don't
It's
agree
just
with that. I think it's them bimbos that you running into because I know a lot of women. I know a lot of women, career driven women who are in entertainment, do this, do that. I was around a whole bunch of them this weekend. They're not like that. It's the women that y'all are running into and are
great.
attracting to
Why
y'all.
you playing? Why you placing so much emphasis on the y'all, Bree? Everything okay this
No,
evening, man?
Cause,
ah,
Is
listen.
everybody
because
okay?
There,
because
there,
y'all
there,
not gonna do that to the
there,
women.
there
Mm-mm.
is a culture. I mean, we all sat and listened to during the pandemic the clubhouse conversations. Now TikTok. There is a prevailing culture, and it's not every woman, right? So we're not generalizing, but there is a culture of women who feel as though it is solely the man's job
Come on.
to do the investigating, inquiring. And while I do believe the man should be the
I have
initiator,
no issue.
women should be the
Come
reciprocator. And I think what Tim was saying, now you know I don't be Tim and I
come
don't
on.
be seeing eye to eye in
Keep
this
flowing.
conversation.
Keep flowing.
But right here, I agree that yes, there is a culture, not all women, but there is a culture of women who don't reciprocate and want the man. But I'm saying, Tim, don't go to all the way to the other extreme either, where now you become the male version of that culture, where she has to do
I'm
all
fair.
of the inquiring.
Bishop, I'm fair. We can have a conversation. But once we get in the conversation, if there's nothing to talk about, like don't you ever X, because I know Bishop is in the middle right now.
Okay.
X, don't you get tired of just always being the initiator to every conversation? Because she has absolutely nothing to talk about.
But Tim, I highly doubt that you're the initiator talking to women all the time because you don't have any time and you are very impatient. You're showing it on this live right
Bree,
now.
I said I'm fair. I give.
But Tim, I'm gonna agree with you that there should be a balance in
Balance,
initiating
balance,
contact,
balance.
initiating
I do agree.
communication.
I do agree with that.
I'm agree with you on that. All I'm saying though is I don't want us to keep putting the onus on women to understand and accommodate for our lack of prioritization when it comes to relationships. That's all I'm saying. Nobody should have to keep under, and this is what I was saying when I said keep understanding. Yeah, we all would have to be understanding. I'm saying I should not have to keep understanding that I am not a priority for you, or that she is not a priority for you.
But I don't think
Can I?
I don't think that men are I don't know because I've been out the game for 5 years, thank the Lord. But even when I was dating, I was never in a space where a man was just kind of like, "You're not my priority." Like, I don't think men
Well,
are
no,
just doing
nobody's going to
that.
say those words, but your behavior is a language.
But what I'm saying is, what is the behavior that men or women are giving to people to make them feel like they're not priority because they're
Sure.
doing their careers? Just
Great.
okay, let's say for you, you said I've been on a plane for 200 million flights, right? There's Wi-Fi on the plane. You can sit there and text all the whole time when you're on a plane. So you have time.
Um, I don't think that I was saying I was on the plane as in I don't have time, and I
It's
don't think that
it's okay. It's okay.
that
It's
hold
okay.
on
It's okay, brother. I understand.
that a musician. So I've got. Let's just talk about what I do with my time in the air. I've published 28 books in my lifetime. Right. I just do a lot of writing of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I never have ever just time where I'm doing nothing. I got a toxic relationship with busyness. I always have to be doing something, right? To feel like I'm being productive. My point is, me getting on the flight is because I'm headed to work. And no matter how busy, and that's one thing, I own multiple businesses, that's one thing. My point was, as busy as I am, when somebody is my priority, my behavior reflects that. Now, I
But
can't be on the
I
phone.
just, but all three of
Oh,
you
oh,
guys are
oh,
different.
okay,
So
so
the way yours look may be different than how Mr. X's look. How Mr. X's look may be different than
Hold
how
on,
Tim's look.
hold on, bro. We got a lady trying to come up. Let's see what this lady got to say, bro. I'm gonna put you down for a second.
Okay.
Bring
Let's
Bree
see.
right back.
Yeah, we're gonna
bring
bring
Bree
her back.
back. Bree's good. Bree's good. Bring her back.
I don't even know who
Let me
this
let me
is.
tell y'all something, ladies and gents. I don't want to just make it like the men are not prioritizing, because I've met a lot of women who are out of balance.
Sure, sure, yeah.
I've met a lot of women who, oh, maybe she changed her mind, Tim. You done
And
got ran her
I
off.
feel like
Going
that.
back.
I think that that's their way of accommodating. Not allowing a man to hurt them. So, oh, you're not going to control. You're not going to be, number one in my life. I'm going to make sure that I do for me. It's a me generation. This is what we're in today. That's where we
So
at today,
bare
Bishop.
minimum should be an expectation of consistent communication. Bare minimum should be an expectation of reciprocation,
Sure.
whether that's for men or for women. Bare minimum. And you could be a person can be a great person doing other great things. But just because somebody's doing other great things does not mean that the bare minimum is no longer the bare minimum necessity. And it's impossible to have a healthy relationship where one or both people are so busy that they can't prioritize each other.
I don't
Impossible.
disagree. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree.
Impossible. And
Yeah.
then we skipped over brother Drew. How do y'all feel about Drew's comments pinned down there? X Tim.
Drew, what did he say?
Shoot, if I'm paying for the flight, the hotel, and the food, sis better present that booty as a living sacrifice. See, these are the kinds of mentalities that this culture has propagated, where there's an entitlement.
Okay, so what I will share is that I know I've heard conversation like that. Like, oh, if a guy's flying a girl out, ain't no way shorty coming out here, and
What is this?
that's not going what it's going to be. Well,
Ladies,
is
ladies,
that damn it, it's
ladies.
weak.
Oh, that just killed me.
Let's see. Monty
Oh my!
said, I don't want to build a house on bare minimum. That doesn't sound sturdy. Indeed, you can't build a house on just the bare minimum, but you certainly can't build a house without the bare minimum.
Wait, well, you know what, bitch? Wait, she said, what did she say? I wouldn't want to build a house on bare minimum. Whoa. What I will share to, oh, that's Monty, right? She was on here
Right.
earlier. What I will say is that's supposed to be your conduit to foundation.
Right. And
If
so,
you
but
don't
to that,
understand, if you don't understand if you don't understand the capacity that I need you to give me this at least understand the bare minimum. And if you're meeting the rest of my expectations, then this should come along as time goes because now you're getting to know me. Now you know more of me. Now you know what my needs are. Would you agree with that, Bishop?
yeah. I agree. I agree. But I'm saying bare minimum, we shouldn't discount the bare minimum, but we cannot build at all
Oh,
without bare minimum.
some men can't afford a living sacrifice. Who's he talking about?
Right? You can't build a house
Bring Bree back.
with.
Hold on, bring Bree
We
back.
just tried to and said she's unavailable. You can't build a house at all without bare minimum.
Yeah.
If bare minimum is communication, if bare minimum is the expectation of dependability and consistency, if bare minimum is you're a safe person, I'm a safe person. No matter what other wonderful things have been done, you're buying this, you're doing this, you're doing. If bare minimum, if bare minimum is not there, the house can't be built. You can
I got a
have
question.
beautiful chandelier in the house, but
I,
that don't hold the house up.
I got a question. Let's go back to what you guys were conversing before I got on the line, where you were talking about holiness, right? Can I ask you a question? What does a relationship look like today in your eyes without with the absence of sex? And we're building. We're building. Tell me, help me. Need
So,
that.
like, what do you mean? What are you all doing with the
Oh yeah,
ties?
like what helps us build outside of communication and talking every day? How do we build that intimacy between each other?
Sure. The way intimacy is built is through consistency, is through the meeting of each other's need. Bree, I keep hitting accept, but it keeps saying you're unavailable. The meeting of each other's needs, whatever each other's needs are. Intimacy and sexuality are not one and the same. It
Sure,
is,
but they eventually cross. That's intimacy becomes
notice what you
is the
just said.
segue for us to get to that. Go
Notice
ahead.
what you just said, eventually. And what often happens, and the reason that it seems that even amongst saved folks, marriage keeps getting pushed further and further and further down the line, is because we have put stuff in front of the marriage finish line that should be after it. And so now, what was one of the reasons that we made ready to get married, i.e., I gotta abstain from this, can't be doing that, can't be doing that. Now because you are doing it ahead, that's why these folks ain't in no rush.
But do we now? I'm pro marriage, but do we want to run to a relation? Do we want to run to marriage? Marriage back in the day, Bishop, was really about sustainability. It was a business. I
That's
don't.
not all. That's not
But
all it was.
that's about for let's okay for the African American. We were
Bree, maybe
in
go out, Bree,
marriages.
and then come back in.
We were in marriages because we needed to survive, and two was better than one. And today, I
And
think
what's
it's just
changed?
I think today's the idea of a relationship or marriage so convoluted. We don't even know what that really looks like anymore. So that's why I go back to my original statement: stay by my dang on self. Stay by myself because and that's not about trust. That ain't. I'm just saying. I rather. Because you said it earlier too, Bishop. You was like, being alone so long will allow you to create this world of your own, so I get that, and it kind of gets hard to let somebody in when they don't understand, or they're not willing to negotiate, and we got to negotiate.
Listen to me, people of God, and mighty men of God. Marriage is one of, if not the primary vehicle for any human being to experience the love and heart of God in the earth. God's intent for the love of a husband towards a wife and that of a wife towards a husband is that that person becomes the vehicle. I accepted yours too, Monty, that that person becomes the vehicle through which that person experiences the heart of God. You can't experience that by yourself. We are wired down to a biological level for relationship. Biologically, we are pulled. It keeps saying, Bree, you're unable to join. Biologically, we are pulled into relationship one with another. And all of us have
I
had,
thought are we pulled into relationship, or are we pulled into procreation?
but see, the challenge is when we make the two separate mechanisms. We are pulled into companionship and not just procreation, right? The need for companionship is a very basic human need, not just the need for sex, the need for
Yes, sir.
companionship.
That's why I started out with about companionship. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I no, I'm not ready to. I'm gonna stay right where we have been. Maybe one day, Tim, we can bring this conversation to another platform, and I'll be a little more transparent. I'm
What
not gonna
what
be
what what, what
transparent.
what we'll do, X? We need to tell. We need to bring X over on to Christians Mingle,
Oh, on that.
No,
and
sir.
have
No,
this.
sir.
Come on,
No, sir. No, sir. No,
come
sir. No,
on,
sir.
have this. Because hear me, marriage, and I say this as a person who has experienced deep heartbreak within the context of marriage, deep disappointment within the context of marriage, deep violation. And having experienced all of that, I will still say that the life, the value, and the beauty of marriage far outweighs the potential threats and dangers of letting a person in to your space. Now, the threat will always be there, right? You never know what's going to happen with a relationship. And that's not just in a romantic relationship. In business, you all as musicians, y'all never know. Your pastor, the pastor you play for right now, can get up and say, "You fired. We fired. We replacing you," because all of even your work is built on the basis and foundation of relationship, and so there's always opportunity for disappointment. But a lot of times, what happens is we hyper either spiritualize the past disappointments we've experienced that have created these walls and boundaries that aid us in self-justifying why we're not making accommodations and adjustments to let somebody in.
I
When you
agree with that.
consult with God, you won't marry the devil. I don't know about that, Can, because God himself got a divorce,
What
and
did he
he's
say?
God.
When you consult with God, you won't marry the devil.
That's that.
That's
What
one of my cousins.
that's how they talk, and that's all.
Um,
That's what you get.
Bishop, what I want to make sure that I share is that I am not against marriage. God knows I want to be married. I was engaged about 5, 6 years ago, and I made bad decisions. So
Mm,
my own bad decisions created resentment within myself, created reservations within myself. So I don't want you to think that I'm not pro marriage. I am pro make a better decision.
yeah,
And you should not go into something that you are not prepared for.
absolutely,
And preparation looks different for everybody. And at
absolutely,
this point, my preparation looks like maturity. But because I
absolutely.
believe my maturity will take me further than my desire.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I agree. And I'm just saying, in the preparation stage, let's be honest and tell people, and I'm not saying you,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Let's be honest and tell people, I want to be married, but I'm not ready. I want that type of relationship, but I'm in the preparation stage. I'm not ready, right? I still have X, Y, and Z I need to work on. I think some of the frustration comes in
Can I be
where we
honest?
present for a certain type of relational dynamic, but then we're not ready for the expectations that come along with it.
Can I
Because
ask you a
with
question?
relationship, there is a right of expectations. Yes, sir.
So, what about when you do give your red flags? What about when you do give your red flags in the beginning? I've given you my red flags. I've given you that. Sometimes my communication suck. I don't always want to be. Sometimes I want to be by myself. I'm an introvert sometimes, but that doesn't mean I don't want to be with you. That doesn't mean I want to like you. That doesn't mean I really like you. And you're still met with adversity.
So then that says something to me about that person's attachment style. That if you told this person out the gate that whatever their basic needs are, and it's not a right or wrong thing, right? It's not a bad or this is just whatever their basic needs are, you don't meet those needs. I don't do this, I don't do that, whatever. And they still decided to entertain it as though they were going to change you, fix you. If you love them enough, you were going to change that. That says something about their own attachment style, and that's something that they got to work on.
Okay, so then we're just gonna leave it to say that a lot of what our relational thoughts is perspective.
Some of it is perspective, but then there are objective, and this is what gets lost a lot of times in these conversations, right? There are objective things that should be considered in these conversations, i.e., attachment styles, i.e., research based information on indicators of relational success. One of the primary indicators of relational demise is when a partner does not feel as though they can depend on a partner for consistent communication. That's not subjective. That's not my opinion. This is the Gottman method is one of the only research-based methods for both relationship and marital counseling. The research indicates that if a partner does not feel as though they can depend on their partner for consistent communication or to show up for them in communication when they need it, that contributes to the demise of the relationship. There are 4 what they call horsemen of the apocalypse that indicate relational demise, and that's not subjective. That's not based on person to person. This is
So
research-based
then,
factual evidence.
so then so then you I think sometimes when I talk, I talk more generally rather
Yeah,
than being very specific.
yeah.
But what I would like to sum up what you're saying is that everything which is to me what I got is that you don't trust me.
Tell me how you got that.
Okay, because if you're at a place where you're constantly questioning if I'm going to be there, that means you don't trust me. You don't. At a point, I'm your your disbelief for who I am is going to raise because of a trust level. You don't think that that's where our trust factors come in, and that's where I want to lose the word that I want to use. To me, that's what I would say. It's speaking loud of what you're sharing to me, Bishop. Is that now I can't trust you because you're showing me that there's nothing I can really depend on you about. I mean, depend on you for. I've told you that this is what I needed from you, or this is what I
Absolutely.
require. And
Yeah,
after you've still not given it to me, I can no longer trust you. Then we don't have a relationship.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it violates and undermines the trust if when you look to a person for something, one of the primary basic questions, even at an unconscious level, is can I count on this person?
Yeah.
Will they show up for me? Whether that's in something major, and a lot of times as men, we tend to place the emphasis on we show up when it counts the most, right? Serious stuff, big stuff, major loss, but it's also at the micro level on a consistent basis where we're not showing up. Now, right now, Tim is at his 30-minute
He's
mark
lost.
right
We
now.
lost him.
Y'all
We
see
lost
it?
him.
We
We lost
lost
him
Tim.
20
Did you
minutes
see it?
ago.
Did you
I
see
got it.
that?
But you know what? Watch this, Bishop. While you were talking, I heard a question in my ear, and I'm going to see if Tim's going to answer. Tim,
You,
I got a question for you. What does trust look like for you with a woman?
that's an excellent question.
I know it is. That's why I decided to ask you.
Uh, Trust is being able to keep what we have between us without
Jesus.
involving a third party. And sometimes, I know women talk because they act like they don't, and I get it. But there's some parts of us that I would love for it to remain between us. And when I know that this is a part of me or a part of us that I feel should be specifically for us, and it's told to another, man.
All right, so I was having a conversation with somebody maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I asked this question because I wanted to see if I was wrong. So I shared with this person in conversation that a real man's trust is not about a woman and another man. That's not. That's the furthest thing from my mind because if I'm doing right at home, then that's not something that I'm worried about. What I want to know is, can I trust you with my heart? Can I trust you with my house? And so what you're saying, that's what I was saying. Like in Compass, I want to know that what's in here stays here. And when I know that, then I know that I can trust you to build.
But you know what? Let me tell you what's dangerous about.
Brethren, go ahead, Tim. I don't want you to lose your train of thought, but I got to go ahead.
You didn't like that, Bishop?
Not that part. I think this whole idea that it is unsafe for whether it's the wife or the husband or the man or the woman to have a sounding board. I think that may be rooted in some ego and some insecurity in men in general. One of the safest things for a man and or for a woman is that their partner have, now I ain't talking about some crazy friend, some crazy person.
Please.
That their partner has a mature, healthy sounding board that can say to them when they can't hear you, right? When they can't hear you because y'all got whatever, y'all in odds, that they have a person who can say to them, hey, you tripping. I know you're wrong. When we create this whole dynamic where it's just the two and there are no safety nets in other relationships, I don't know if that's healthy.
Now, what I do want to say is, timing allows you to be able to see who you should allow into your relationship. So I'm not saying that, it's just us two and that we're against the world. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, it's safer for us to be against the world rather than anybody else coming. And then now there's some type of space for that for a tear to be created. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think trust has to also be built for whoever each person's person is, right? That if you got a friend that is that when you want the truth, you talk to them. Well, your partner also has to have an opportunity to develop trust for them. I ain't talking about no crazy folks. I'm saying, yes, nobody should be able to come in between you all. But each of you all should be able to have people that, you can have conversations with to aid you in broadening your perspective.
But you know what? You know what the problem is with the trust piece? A lot of individuals want you to commit to it when you're not really my friend.
Here Tim goes. That's his main message. That's what Tim is on earth to preach. The message of be my friend. Tim's assignment to this generation is the message of friendship in relationships.
How can you really trust a person who you don't really consider your friend? You just want me because you think we got a space of time that we've committed to each other to get to know each other. But getting to know each other doesn't necessarily suggest that you're my friend. So I don't trust you.
Well, trust is given along a continuum. There are levels of trust, right?
See, hold on, Bishop. You see, 90% of people, you hear what they say? You must be friends first. That is incorrect. Friendship is it is not a moment in time. It's not a manifestation. It's not where we're friends and we stop being that to become something else, That's why 90% of relationships do not work, because people are not legitimately friends. And you want me to trust you with my life and I don't even know you.
That's why.
So what happens is, here's what happens. Then when you empty yourself and telling this person, they hold on to that. And they use it against you. It's like, damn, how could you do that? They did it because we're not friends.
They did it because they were not healthy. Okay.
Oh,
Emotionally unhealthy, immature people, emotionally unintelligent people weaponize stuff that is learned in the context of
I did a reel maybe like 2 years ago. And I don't know what made me say it, but I shared that you should never come to a fight with a loaded gun. And that's just in a relationship, I was sharing that, like, you should never be ready to argue with me. You should never, there should never be a day with my partner is, or I want to say not a day, but there should never be a moment where you feel like you always have to be defensive towards me. I'm supposed to be that's when that dramatic or dramatized conversation of being a safe space. I'm supposed to be a safe space. So why do you feel like you need to fight me
But
every
that
day?
but that has to be a question and not an indictment. There has to be a question of if a person is always on the defensive, why are you? And the answer
Then
doesn't
why?
necessarily have to be because of something you did. That could be something they're bringing.
And that's why I said I'd rather be by myself because everybody's not ready. Everybody's not ready to first expose your demons because that's the first. I want you to expose yourself to me. That's how I know. That's how I know who the heck I'm dealing with. If you don't expose yourself to me, that means you're liable to hurt me. The Bible tells me to know those that labor among me. So if I know you, I shouldn't be mad, hurt, sad, disappointed when you do something that I expected you to do. So don't set me up for failure. I want to know. And, and I know that, you can't tell everything, but at least tell me things that I'm going to, I want to be able to
You wait,
respond.
X, go back. You said if I know you, then I shouldn't be mad, hurt, disappointed when you
Oh, no,
do.
no. So I said, tell me where you fall.
Okay.
Let me know. Let me know where, or tell me where you fall. Tell me what your strengths are. I want to know all those things so that at the end of it all, if I do fail, I failed on the premises of my own bad decisions or my lack thereof to do, because you gave me the keys to success. That's all I was saying with that statement. You
Yeah.
gave me the keys to success. I don't want to, I don't, everybody, I shouldn't have to tell you anything. You should be able to learn it, see it.
Oh my God.
I don't
Yeah,
want, I'm not asking for all that. And I'm not,
over
wait, I
that.
wait, I wait. Before you go, Bishop, I want to say that I'm not lazy. So I don't want you to think I'm lazy, that I won't work for that. But I do believe in working smarter and not harder.
Come on, come
Oh
on,
yeah, it's it's
come on,
it's
preach.
it's immature to go into any relationship and expect somebody to have to use intuition or prophetic gifting about stuff you could just tell them. That's child's play. And again, if you're trying to set a relationship up for success, you give each other the tools that you need to do that.
Um,
Tim,
I just want to make a comment on, how do you say her name? Is that Golathia? Wow,
mhm,
you're mean. How?
you're
She's
funny.
mean.
She's not me. She ain't
Wait,
me. Tim, I go by Essence said you need to make time to know them more than 30 minutes. How you gonna be somebody's friend, Tim, and you only talking to them in 30-minute increments,
Essence,
Tim?
no, Essence was my,
You said Essence was your
that's my
what? Oh,
friend.
she your
Yeah.
friend. See there. Y'all see how Tim I ain't gonna do it to him. I ain't gonna do it to him. I ain't gonna do it to you, Tim. Saints of God, listen. Don't settle.
I got a second win. I'm ready to roll now. Let's go.
Look,
What we
he
talking?
done took
Oh,
a
now
little
you
mid
Oh,
a little
supposed to
mid
call
mental
her up.
nap, and now he done woke back up. This bare minimum, Tim, and y'all gotta encourage the brethren to show up as safe, healthy, marriageable men. And what I was going to say to you, X, is so rather than saying you'd rather be by yourself, maybe a healthier thing would be you'd rather be with someone who is healthy and mature.
Yeah.
but you to be Bree, it really don't. It's not many. The hurtful part about the day we live in, there's not many Brees that exist. To be honest with you, Bishop,
What do you mean by that?
because there's an understanding that Bree has that most women don't get without getting offended. It's always because many are pre-programmed to believe that their way is the way. No problem. So when we even deal with compromise, if I give you my side, I feel that there needs to be compromise, you get offended. So now I'm upset. So it's like, how do we make this work without offense?
Most people in social media has jacked up our emotional intelligence and communication skills. Most people, many people, let me not generalize, many people are not prepared to have healthy conversations around balance and around compromise, i.e., if we expecting a woman to always have to come second to what we got going on.
I mean, I don't honestly, I don't believe in the first or second. We got to figure it out. I don't. If I make you first, and then I put
Yeah,
something,
you make her first, and then
yeah,
you put your gift or your job second. Then we both lack.
then we both
Well,
laugh.
well, no, no, no. So
Come
somebody
on,
being first does not mean that they are always at the head of actions, behaviors. It means that they are first in consideration. And so first in consideration may be that, okay, I need to take this job that's going to pull me in this time because I need to provide X, Y, and Z. That is still placing her first, but what makes her first is when you make that decision, you have conversations. You include her in that so that she's not left assuming that she's a part of prioritization. She should just know that, because when we do that, we're doing the same thing we just made, accuse women of, just wanting men to just get it and just know it. No, if you make somebody a part of the decision-making process, that is making them
I'm,
first.
I'm, I'm, I'm that ain't bad.
I'm gonna say I'm
I-
gonna say this.
Hey,
I'm a
hey, before you say that, Ed, I'm gonna tell you why I have to 100% agree with that, because that was one of the worst mistakes I made in my first, and I talk about it publicly, is because I felt like, because it wasn't my ex's thing, the music, the marketing, the radio, I felt like since it wasn't her thing, there was no need to include her. So I made her an outcast of something that, if I could have
Yeah.
asked for her opinion,
you know
even
what
if thing.
you know
Here's the thing, I felt like, hey, because she was doing the graphics and all that. I'm like, I ain't no graphic design artist, so I can care less what you got going on. But what if I just
yeah
I like what you did with that graphic. How would that just have made her feel?
yeah. So you know
What
what
her-
I learned. You know what I heard in a plethora of conversations,
See,
Tim,
y'all,
of my
Tim does
back.
have moments of light. You got to stick around for him, but they come through. They
Yeah,
come
yeah.
through.
What I want to say, in my time of making bad decisions, I've heard that enough that don't take my options away from me. And that is a very loud conversational piece that
Hey,
woman
what does that mean? That sounds good.
don't. So it
Don't take my choice. Let
don't
me
take my
choose.
choice. Let me choose. So if I choose and we fail, it's okay because I chose that. But the moment that you take that decision into your own hands, and then you take me on the ship and we go up, and in somewhere we fall hard, that's your fault because you didn't give me an opportunity to choose.
Dang, that's big.
I heard that. Now I've heard that on a plethora of occasions. That's the only reason why I could share from that understanding. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I could go on and on and on. Tim, you want to talk tonight?
I'm back. Back.
Tim, what are some of the other things that you would say that
Get
divorce
Bree
taught
back
you?
in here.
Who?
It won't let. What are some of the
Really?
other?
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
she's
It
good
won't let.
conversation, Tim.
It
Hold on,
won't
listen.
let.
We got to take a quick commercial. Hey, Bishop, your book is out,
Yeah.
and where can we go get the book? At the website?
Dear Singles, you can go onto Amazon. You can go to bishopdjs.com. You can shoot me a DM and we'll shoot you the info. Singles need to get it. 30 Days of Wisdom for Singles.
Now,
Help
he
you.
doesn't personally need my endorsement, but I'm gonna tell y'all, he's absolutely incredible when it comes to this stuff. I mean,
Sure, yeah.
I've never,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
even
Tim.
though me and him may disagree, and sometimes he know I'm gonna troll. Sometimes
Right.
get the conversation going, but to be honest, he's very thorough. Like singles, even married folk, thinking about getting into a relationship, I'm telling you, that's the book. You go to his website and just get the book for not just you, for some
Bill
other folks.
Bellamy.
Yeah, you
I
got
appreciate
it.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
I need to write me a book, Tim. That's what I need to do. Write
Yeah.
me a book. And then you know what I'm gonna name my book? Bad Decisions.
That's
That's
good,
what I'm gonna name my book.
X. X, that's good. That's good. I want you, brethren, to take up the responsibility amongst musicians to create a culture of marriageable minded musicians because musicians got a bad rap in the church.
Yeah. I helped it.
I, wow.
Mm.
I won't disagree with that statement either.
Listen, the later it gets, the more transparent Tim
Yeah.
starts getting.
That's why when I see them move and act the way they act, it's like, dang, I want. No, I just tell them. Here is my, what's the word I want to use? Bishop
Nah,
Gone.
he there.
I'm
Oh,
here.
here's my if I encounter a musician that look like me when I don't hypocritically come as like I wasn't them. I always give them advice based on if you continue in this, these are the potential results.
Mhm.
Take it from me. I'm telling you, I lived it times 1,000. And honestly, a lot of it is the lack of influencers that we have in this music business. A lot of them practice what they see.
Right.
There's really not too many. I understand the keyboard and learning your instrument, but there's not really hard conversations when it deals with not just in relationship spaces, but just with life with musicians. Because oftentimes, this ain't I ain't trying to have a sad moment, but most churches really only use musicians what they can do, and then once that's it, that's really all they need.
Right.
You know,
That's
Can I?
I can't remember the last time a a, 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 a ministerial figure said, "Tim, I'm praying for you." I can't even remember the last time I got a prophetic word. I can't remember the last time somebody just say, "Hey man, I'm talking about ministry heads to say, "Hey man, I'm just really checking on you." But Tim, I got a service Friday night. Can you come be a blessing? I'm cool with it because I guess that's what I get paid to do. But it's not common for
So can I share something with you, Tim?
yeah.
You know what I learned as a musician with the statement that you're making, while it is just very true. Um, that is why you should have a home church. That's why you should have a covering. Because you shouldn't be for me, I didn't want to look for that from someone else. So I sat under a leader for a plethora of years that I didn't even want to play at the church. That wasn't a desire of mine. It's because I'm not here for that. I'm here to grow. I'm here to be fed. Um, and
Here's the tough part about that,
okay.
and I probably never said it ever. I said it to myself, but oftentimes when you carry a level of influence, a lot of clergymen don't think they need covering.
and I think though, Tim, that's an issue in conversation that happens a lot with mega church pastors and a lot of musicians or even just people. Let me not just make musicians. In people with any level of visibility or influence tend to only look to mega church pastors for that type of covering and accountability. A lot of this level of accountability and relationship, what you're talking about, uh, often isn't found in some of. I won't generalize and say all. In some of those spaces, the pastor needs to be able to know you more than just being somebody on his payroll for that type of
Yeah,
covering.
because you, you eventually you'll spew out what's in you through the keys. And so if I don't know who you are, if I don't know who you are, then I'm setting my as a leader, I'm setting myself up for you to mess up my ship and your shit.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because especially for someone like Tim. Now I've been in a plethora of rooms with Tim playing, and I've seen him take the church to a place where only God can lift us.
Especially
But
them strings. Ain't nobody gonna touch
when
Tim.
he get them,
When
I
he
don't
get
even
them
know if I
strings
want to say.
going,
To me, it's when I don't know if it's about the strings for me, but when he adds the violin, God, and he starts getting, gives me a violin, and then he just goes to God in three persons, blessed Trinity.
oh, no, excuse me, sir.
Oh,
We're apostolic.
no,
It's
we're
God. It's
apostolic.
God in
Okay,
one person.
God in one
God in the one person.
person.
Blessed
I'm sorry.
unity.
With unity, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let
I'm
me tell you,
sorry.
you ain't gonna top Tim when it comes to that. In his words, top three
Now
all
he
time.
listen. All right. I can make a good joke here. Years ago, I was interviewing for a church, and Tim was he was at the interview, and he asked me to play a song, and I played the song, and Tim goes, "I'm not sure what you just played, but that didn't sound like." I went home and I practiced that song for a month and a half, and you'll never get me again. Never
I'm
get me again.
telling
But
you.
you
But hey,
need
yeah,
now. What
hey,
I will,
go ahead.
I I was just gonna make mention to say what I will say is that it's all across the board commonality with accountability. Um, I do think that, and when I say that, I mean like in the lack thereof. I made that as a comical thing, but I know I at that point I knew Tim's status when it came to playing a hymnal. And if I was to be foolish enough to make a statement to rebuttal what he just shared, then that means I'm not ready to go nowhere